Is the 4th of February 2026, a Wednesday night, 6:33 p.m. I started at 6:15 and guess what? Something interrupted the feed from the ZWO imager to the laptop. I had to reinitialize things and unplug the ZWO from the laptop and plug it in again and then restart all the applications. So I've lost a little bit of time here. Fortunately, there's not that many studies tonight. We're not going to have an intro view. We're starting at NGC 1504 because the other ones were either too far south or too far north. Give you the data on NGC 1504 as soon as I acquire it. Let's see, I am in multi-stack mode, 5 seconds, the usual things. The cooler is supposed to be set to -10. It was at -1. Okay, let's go ahead and do a recapture on this just to see what we get. 5-second exposure for NGC 1504, Galaxy and Eridanus, and you know what? We don't seem to be getting anything. It has failed once again. Very peculiar. Okay, I'm going to probably end up deleting what I already did. I'm starting to have some problems with the imager this evening or the laptop. It's 6:35 p.m., much later than I'd ordinarily get started. On the 4th of February 2026, I've already had several times where I've lost the feed. However, we've got 5 stacks of NGC 1504 Galaxy Eridanus, magnitude 15.7 by 0.5 arc minute lenticular. Pressing it up, I would say our galaxy should have been right about there, but there are several faint galaxies in the field. We're at right ascension 40229 with a declination of -920.08. And one quick look at 100%, 150x, and then bail. NGC 1505 was a neighbor of NGC 1504. It's a galaxy in Eridanus. There's a couple of nice galaxies right there, a couple of fainter ones there. Both of these were 15th magnitude, 0.9 by 0.7 arc minute size lenticular, 434 million light years distant, RA 40236 with a declination of -91921. Little zoomage, and we're out. NGC 1507 is another galaxy in Eridanus, but further north. Oh, I hope it's that edgy on. Yes, it is. NGC 1507, galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 12.33.6 by 1 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase p, 39 million light years distant, so it's quite small, maybe around 45,000 light years in diameter. RA is 40427 with a declination of -21119. Let's have that 150x view. Looks like it has all kinds of texture in it. There's probably a foreground star. It's not much of a galaxy. It's a spiral with a bar and peculiarity, so it's being distorted gravitationally, dropping back down to our pretty view at 75x and moving on. NGC 1508 is a galaxy further north in Taurus. Magnitude 15.4 by 0.3 arc minute, spiral to lowercase c. So it doesn't have a very bright core, but it seems to have one there. Could be this one here, however. All right, we're at 318 million light years distant. It's at right ascension 40547 with a declination of +25, 24, 30. Pushing it up a little bit because we have the time this evening to do so. And there is our 150x view of NGC 1508. Back down into the river for NGC 1509, a galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 14.5. Should be more up towards the top part of the screen. 0.5 by 0.4 arc minutes, 397 million light years distant, puts it maybe at 60,000 light years in diameter. RA 40355 with a declination of -111045. A 1 150x view, a little bit of search around. There are some faint fuzzies in the field, but it looks kind of disturbed there. Back to 75x for that beauty view and out. NGC 1514 is that really nice planetary nebula in Taurus that I've imaged several times now. Cumulative magnitude of 10.8, 120 by 90 arc seconds. The central star is 9.5. 2,500 light years distant, RA 40916 with a declination of plus 30, 46, 33, pushing the magnification up to maximize the texture. It almost looks like it has spiral arms spiraling around counterclockwise, doesn't it? NGC 1514. Okay, NGC 1516A, Galaxy in Eridanus. It's also NGC 1524. Magnitude 12.6, 1.4 by 0.9 arc minutes. Is it probably up here, further up on the screen? Looks like it's actually two galaxies, which is probably why it's got an A. Spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 443 million light years distant. Quite bright for a 443 million light years distant. Usually they're around magnitude 15. RA is 40807 with a declination of minus 849.47. We'll push it up a little bit and then head on to our next study in this tour. And let's leave it at that without skipping and jumping because we know it's conjoined galaxies. This is NGC 1516b, Galaxy Eridanus, of course. It's also NGC 1525. It's magnitude 14.5, a couple of magnitudes fainter than its confrere. 0.9 by 0.7 arc minutes, a little less mature. It's a spiral with a lowercase c. 440 million light years distant, so they are proximal. RA is 40808 with a declination of minus 850.07, and it does deserve a back out view at 75x. We are off further north, the NGC 1517, a galaxy in Taurus. It's magnitude 13.4, so this is probably our galaxy right there. Maybe I should resynchronize the scope. It's a 13.4, 1.1 by 1 arc minute spiral with a lowercase c, not much of a core, 156 million light years distant. RA 40911 with a declination of plus 8, 38.53. Pushing the magnification and then backing out once again. Okay, I took a few moments to resynchronize onto this galaxy, NGC 1517. It's pretty close to the center. I'm hoping it won't muck things up too much. I just resynchronized. I did not remodel to it, however. Well, hallelujah. It did turn out pretty good remodeling because we are looking for NGC 1518. It's a galaxy in Eridanus, and it's pretty close to the middle. We know this is our galaxy because it's magnitude 11.8, 2.9 by 1.4 arc minutes, spiral of the bar, lowercase d, so it is disturbed. 42 million light years distant, puts it at about 50,000 light years of diameter. RA 40649 with a declination of minus 2110.44, pushing it up and leaving it right there. Sky's not actually it's pretty decent tonight. Look, we're down to minus 17 degrees for NGC 1519, a galaxy in the river. Could be this edge on. Let's get the data. Yes, indeed. It's magnitude 12.9, 2.1 by 0.6 arc minutes. I like it. Spiral with a bar, lowercase b. 72 million light years distant, so you can make out the core a little bit on a lowercase b. A morphological chart. RA is 40807 with a declination of minus 17 degrees, 11 minutes and 34 seconds. Let's push it a little bit and then head out once again. NGC 1521 is also swimming in the river. Let's see which one it is. Oh, it's definitely this one. Magnitude 11.4, 2.7 by 1.6 arc minutes. In elliptical class 3, 183 million light years distant means this baby's about 110 to 120,000 light years in diameter. We're at RA 40818 with a declination of minus 21 degrees, 3 minutes and 7 seconds. I'm going to push it up to 150x and back down to the missed 75x view. And there we have NGC 1521. Okay, a lot of skippage for this next one. And it isn't a galaxy. Take your best shot at 30x view. We got a diffraction from a power line, but the sky around the study is quite nice. 1535 is a planetary nebula in Eridanus. Blue, kind of a snowball thing, isn't it? Magnitude 9.4, 20 by 17 arcseconds, so quite small. Very replete with ionized particles, so it's probably a fairly young outgassing. It's got a magnitude 12.1 central star, not that you're going to be able to make it out with all that brilliant luminosity around it. This planetary is 7,500 light years distant. Right ascension is 414.15 with a declination of minus 1240.421. And I am going to press the magnification up first to 300x. No stellar resolution. Back down to 150. Back down to our 50% e-zoom or 75x for a final exiting view. On to NGC 1538, where this time we do get a diffraction bar over our study. And it happens to be a magnitude 15 galaxy. We're seeing it there, so it's a spiral peculiarity, so it's probably visual magnitude 14. Excuse me. Face on 0.5 arc minutes in apparent size, 357 million light years distant, maybe 65,000 light years in diameter. RA is 414.56 with a declination of minus 1311.30. Pressing our magnification, getting our 150x view. NGC 1539 is a galaxy in Taurus, and I'm wondering why there are so few stars in this region here, just looking at the field of view. It's magnitude 15.5. I'm going to step through this and see if we can pick it, where we can pick it out. So that's our 30x view. See it? I don't. All right. This is beginning to reveal something there. 45x. This magnitude 15.5 is 0.5 by 0.5 arc minute compact, 247 million light years distant. And here we've gone up to what I believe to be, should be 60x, and the galaxy has revealed itself. It's a compact, so it's going to have a bright core. 247 million light years distant means it's probably about 40,000 light years in diameter. RA is 419.01 with a declination of plus 2649.36. And I'm pressing the magnification up to 150x, and then we will back down once again. First, notice we can see it at 75x. And then at 40% e-zoom, which is about 60, 30% 45, and then finally at, we would have a hard time making this, 0.5 by 0.5 arc minute size galaxy, magnitude 15.5, probably 14.0, out at 30x. Nice experiment. Okay, we have a diffraction bar in this one. We are way so far south, but I do like the way the field of view looks. For NGC 1540 galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 14.8. And it seems to be coming out. This is actually a very good night of seeing. It's 1.1 by 0.7 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase a, 242 million light years distant. I wouldn't expect, at right ascension 4:15:10, that's fine, but at minus 28 degrees, 29 minutes and 3 seconds, we are seeing a magnitude probably 14 visual, But I am blown away. This evening must be much better than I thought because there were high thin clouds at sunset and beyond. Pressing up the magnification because we have time tonight. It looks like we've got a number of galaxies all collected together. So it'd be interesting to find out what galaxy group this is. However, there is no peculiarity applied to its spiral with a lowercase a morphological description. Back north again to NGC 1541 in Taurus. Let's take a look at this again. No, we don't have that dark masking field here, Barnard-type nebulosity as we had before. This NGC 1541 in Taurus, magnitude 13.5, 1.3 by 0.5 arc minutes. It's kind of edgy on, and that's probably it right there. Let's make sure we're getting our 75x view. Spiral with a core, in particular a spiral A, 225 million light years distant, puts it at about 75,000 light years in diameter. RA 417 aught with a declination right about at the celestial equator of 50 minutes, 5 seconds northerly declination. Pressing up the magnification, seeing the extensions, and noticing it's a little handed here, isn't it? All right. Okay, a little further north in Taurus for NGC 1542. Clearly present on the field. Galaxy, magnitude 13.9, 1.3 by 0.5 arc minute. Oh yeah, that qualifies. Spiral with a lowercase ab, 167 million light years distant, maybe 50,000 light years in diameter. RA is 41714 with a declination of plus 446.54. Centering up, pushing the magnification, backing out once again, and having that pristine 75x view. NGC 1547 is back down into Eridanus. Pretty obvious in the fields because it's a 13.6 magnitude galaxy. Now let's check its aspect ratio, 1.3 to 0.6, 2 to 1. Could very well be spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, so a faintish core. I bet you there's a star lining up with it. 429 million light years distant means this baby's larger than Messier 31, maybe 170,000 light years in diameter. RA is 41712 with a declination of minus 1751.16. That's not a bad view there at about 90x. You can see the galaxy with the star just off its core. Well, on this one, we are running a bit late because I got a late start due to technical difficulties, and we are getting a bit of aperture block by a roof try. What we're trying to see here is NGC 1548. It's an open cluster in Perseus. No real descriptions to it. This is a very weird little, I do believe I saw this the previous night. This, it looks almost like could be a comet for all I know. I'm not staying on top of comets. But this open cluster is supposed to be a class IV1, which means the stars are of similar brightness, but it is so indistinct from its background as to almost be undetectable. And one wonders how such open clusters were ever found. Maybe by going to adventuresindeepspace.com, you get the historical information on who discovered it and using what equipment. You might be able to get an answer to that question, and so might I. We're at RA 421.13 with a declination of plus 36 degrees, 55 minutes, and 1 second. Let me go ahead and see what's next. A galaxy in Taurus, which is nice because it'll be further south. So let's head there next. Oh, by the way, that galaxy in Taurus is part of the NGC 1550 to 299 series, but let's have a look anyway. We are now about 19 minutes and 30 seconds into this video. And ordinarily, I'd have enough time left that I could do a preview of all the northerly studies in the NGC catalog. But I got a late start due to technical difficulties with interrupted signal processing from the ZWO imager. and it uses a UDP cable, Universal Serial Port cable. I would ordinarily step through the more northerly studies in the catalog in anticipation that I may have bad weather for a while. I may have to integrate them with more southerly studies to complete an entire NGC Tour series in a 50 block. But let me tell you about this one, and then we're going to skip along and see what if there are any that I'm going to lose in the future. NGC 1550 is a galaxy in Taurus, quite bright there. It's also NGC 1551. It's magnitude 12, 2.2 by 1.9. Arc-minute size elliptical, 165 million light years distant, means probably about 110,000 light years in diameter. RA is 41938 with a declination of +2, 24, 34. A quick 150x view, backing out again. We're now 20 minutes in this video. Let's see how far we can get with the more northerly studies at this point. Oh, nice edge of galaxy right there too. Okay, NGC 1554 is supposed to be a nebula in Taurus. And I don't know that zooming in is going to do us any good on this one. There's no information available. It may be a bogus entry. Once again, Steve Gottlieb, adventuresindeepspace.com. We just, of course, had probably a very fast-moving satellite passage. One of these has got to take a right turn on me sometime and prove that it's not something other than a satellite or something in the atmosphere. It's at right ascension 4. It's not at 4:21:56, and it's not at northerly declination plus 1932 in 0 seconds. I will do a little bit of a zoom in just because we get a little more light. And you know what? We are bringing it out. This star here has a little bit of nebulosity that's only visible when I add more pixels and feeding the image onto the screen, which gives us a brighter view. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, there is an NGC 1554 nebula in Taurus. Okay. We don't know that that's NGC 1554 because there is also an NGC 1555, and I do believe it has data associated with it. Let me go ahead and call it up. NGC 1555 is a nebula in Taurus. It's only a mere 0.5 arc minutes in diameter. That's much bigger than that. Reflective type, 490 million light years distant. RA is 42156 with a declination of plus 1932.03. And what I'm going to do is back out. We are making it out. You know, there could be two nebulosities here. It looks a little dumbbell-like, doesn't it? Okay, that may explain NGC 1554 and 5055. Okay, we're getting a bit of blockage, but we are seeing our next study. NGC 1579 is a nebula in Perseus. Very nice. It's a 3 by 3 arc minute, so it looks about as large as that last one, and it claimed 0.5 by 0.5. 200 reflective type, 2,100 light years distant. RA 43014 with a declination of plus 351646. That's our view, and it would hold for me if I do not get another view of it because of the weather at my next outing. Okay, we got nothing here for NGC 1582, an open cluster in Perseus. I'll have to make sure I get that one next opportunity. Basically, it's too far north. Skipped over quite a few near equatorial galaxies in Taurus, but I did decide to do this one anyway. It's NGC 1590, galaxy in Taurus, magnitude 13.7.9 by 0.7 arc minutes. That should be it. Spiral with peculiarities. Yeah, there could be. 175 million light years distant means it's probably about 60,000 light years in diameter. Pushing it up, you can see there's a neighboring faint galaxy right about there, which is probably inducing the gravitational strain on both of them. We're at right brightest sunshine, oh, I think I said zero point 0.9 by zero point 0.7 spiral peculiarities, 175 million light years distance, so maybe 60,000 light years in diameter. RA 43110 with a declination of +7, 3751. Okay, this one should be quite nice, and it'll probably be our exit view because it is a nice bright galaxy, and I may do various exposure times on it. Jumping way ahead to NGC 1600 Galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 10.9, 3.1 by 2.2 arc minutes, elliptical class 2. 209 million light years distant. RA is 43139 with a declination of -50515. Ordinarily, I'm not particularly interested in elliptical galaxies. They're pretty much unresolved, giant globular clusters. I love resolution in globular clusters for their resolution in stars, but elliptical galaxies, now, if it's for instance, a 10th magnitude elliptical galaxy, its brightest stars are probably somewhere about 17 magnitudes fainter, and that's way beyond even zero imager. So that is a view at 5 seconds. Give me a pause, and we will go push things up a little bit. Okay, we get to watch the skippage from the 5-second view to the 10 seconds. Did you catch that? We have two stacks, but the first stack was at 5 seconds, and the second stack was at 10 seconds. I'm exploring this now because I have learned that it's best to proceed from shorter exposure times to longer exposure times in order to ensure a best stacking. So here's our galaxy once again, NGC 1600. Let's go to 105x, 70% e-zoom. And we're seeing some interesting raying effects right here, but they could be foreground stars. I'm going to go ahead and push it to 30 seconds next. Okay, so it's going to start with that last view of 10 seconds, and we're going to have to wait a little bit to see it pop to 30 seconds. We've got about 15 seconds left in this first stack. It's saying right now that there's already been one stack, but we know that was done at 10-second exposure time. Apparently, it did not include the 5-second exposure time as part of the stack. These are all these little tidbits you learn by using it. Otherwise, you have to read the manual, and I just don't do that because I love figuring things out for myself. Here is our 30-second view, and I'm noticing right off another nice bright galaxy in the background. There are probably several in the field. Let's go ahead up to 150x and back down, probably 130, 120. This is probably around 105. We got another stack in there. Did you notice how brighter it got? The background dims and the foreground stars and galaxies seem to brighten with each and every stack. Now, one last push before I bail for the evening. Let's see if we can get to a 60-second exposure. Okay, within 5 seconds, it automatically displayed the last stack of 30 seconds and mounting together this 60-second exposure. Now let's see if we get a lot of distended comatose stars or streaks or any other kind of deformities that occur on the field of view. I'll go up to our nice 50% e-zoom view, which increases magnitudal reach by my estimate at least 1 to 1.5 magnitudes. We still have another 20 seconds left in this 60-second stack. Now I'm going to do a 120, but I'm going to carpe noctem out and add a 120 if it comes through as a tag. So, because we're now almost 29 minutes in this video, and I like to limit them to 30 seconds. Let's watch. Ooh, that popped. Wow. There is our 60-second view, beautiful stacking of NGC 1600, that galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 10.9, 3.1 by 2.2 arc minutes. So I'm going to pause out. First, I am going to say carpe noctem, seize the night. Okay, here we go. 10, 9, 8. Oh, wow, it already stacked it. This is our 182nd view. Oh, that is glorious. Look at that. Oh, well, the stars are a little bit distended. Well, not bad. And they look so much better if you just leave it right at 30x. And with that, I am going to doubly say carpe noctem. 30 minutes into this astrovid.